Hey everyone, welcome to the Cedric channel, the source of knife world records. Yeah, the Sandrin guys are using that video, which I said was fine. I said, no, you can use it. That's all good. So they've got my permission. They're not paying me anything. That record was achieved from a donated knife from a viewer, not from them in any sense. So all independent. All the world records you'll see on this channel are independently created. So there you go. But yeah, you'll probably see that video popping up from place to place. They did send me another TCK with the same type, which I just sent straight on as a gift to Michael Christie for him to keep, because I want to see what someone who can actually sharpen knives properly can do with it and what he thinks of it. If maybe he can confirm or provide different data points however he tests. And then they sent me a stainless steel one, which I think is in my house, but I'm going to review that and then give it away. So I've profited nothing from the Sandrin video apart from a couple of bucks of AdSense views from my actual original videos. So there we go, that out of the way. We're going to see if we can get another world record today. World record for the longest time avoiding testing CPM154. I think I've won that as well. Heaps of folks have asked me to do this steel, and it's just a steel that in Australia not that many knives are made of. Like a lot of the Kershaws that use it, because that's the first thing people say, I get a Kershaw knife. A lot of them are the speed assisted ones, like the Leaks and stuff. You can't actually get them over here. So I had to go for another Bark River. And I've done the rust resistance test on this already, so I'd say it seems to be a definite CPM154. I've cleaned it up again, and look how nice it looks. This is the FOBOS Legion. Now this is a 450 Australian dollar knife, so I'm not reviewing it just yet, because geez, when something costs that much money, I got to do a full ass review on it, that's for sure. I'm not using I'm going to use my whole ass for that one, not just half. But you'll see a couple of little bits of knife science involving it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to test this fresh factory edge using just the standard rope cut test that I do. So I'll be cutting twisted sisal rope until it no longer slices a held sheet of paper. It's come very, very sharp. It's a very, very nice. The edge, I would say, the grind is convex. I think the edge is probably a secondary micro-convex, I would say. Just from looking at it, a little bit of silver there. Quite a thin little bit of silver, so I'm really not sure how this will do. This might be made for toughness rather than for edge retention. So what we're going to do, cut, see when it stops, and that'll be the first number. And then I'll figure out if there's any other way I can really test it without completely munting up the grind and therefore making the review probably less representative. So this might be it for now. Anyway, stand by. Let's see how much this cuts before it no longer slices paper. Was 186 cuts, which I feel is a very good result, given that I think they do this edge knowing that most people are going to just take it out of the box, put it on their belt and take out and just start whacking stuff with it. And it's an edge designed to do that without failing. So a micro bevel that is a little bit less perhaps steep and tall and slicey has been put on, and I think that is a perfectly fine choice. So that being said, 186 cuts through rope. Rope is pretty nasty stuff to cut. It is a very good result, I feel. In terms of general thoughts on the knife, pretty positive impressions. I would say this is in there with sort of the Falconeven A1 perhaps as like a really big rugged sort of 6-inch survival knife, maybe like an SE6, but SE6 of course is flat ground and made of a more simple steel. That sort of field, I would say. It's a 1/4 inch thick, so it's one of the thicker ones. I think it's a bit thicker than the SE6, but about as thick as the Falconeven A1 Pro. So there you go. The tip is a little bit more delicate. It's not fragile by any sense, but it's definitely a piercing tip, probably pushing this into more of a combat utility role. But then combat utility knives are generally great for camp knives and perfectly adequate as survival knives too. He says his knives are the hardest use knives on the planet. That's what he says on his website, or that's what he believes. So I think he's definitely made it to be fairly bomb-proof. The micarta handles here are really nicely shaped, subtly shaped. It's what I always like to see on a fixed blade knife. Not too much going on. And yeah, he's got an index finger notch, which works fine for me. But then the rest of it is just really however your hand falls, you're going to get a good grip on it. And it's going to be pretty comfy. There's some jimping on the top, which is quite wide. Some finer jimping at the back, which is a bit narrower. There is a lot of grip to be had here. There's jimping underneath here as well. But yeah, it's nothing that's going to cut your hand up, and it is actually really, really nice in the hand. In terms of its fit and finish, it's really good. It's quite hard to mess something like this up. It's very simple construction, really, bolted onto micarta slabs to a really nicely ground convex knife. Yeah, Bark Rivers always feel a little bit handmade to me, which is, I think, part of the appeal for most folks. Yeah, the jimping, it's not super perfect. It's not like a custom levels, but you're paying the price here for just such a huge thick piece of CPM154, and you're getting also a really compelling sheath as well. So the sheath here, it's got sort of molly compatible, it's all leather, molly compatible leather straps here. You could also put it scout style through the belt with these here. It's got a collar that goes all the way up, that then the straps kind of go over like so. So you get a real sort of, you can really sort of button your knife down and keep it very, very secure, and just holds quite snugly and quite soundly. Very, very impressive overall piece of kit. It's about $150 cheaper than the Falcon Even A1 Pro here, and for something that's probably a little bit more handcrafted and a steel that's probably about comparable with the laminated COS, it seems like a pretty good deal at the time. For now. But stay tuned, I'll do a full review on it. I'll test it in some various ways and be able to have a bit more of a verdict for you. I'm not sure how available these are at the moment. I think like a lot of Bark Rivers, they kind of do runs as demand dictates, so keep your eyes out for it. If you're after a big rugged survival knife, it certainly seems to be the ticket, but as I said, I'll do a full review on it in due course. Alright, thanks guys, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.